What's up? Oh god. Bad news bears.
Sunday.
Bad news bears, Alex.
What?
My controller is dying.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Where is the plug?
Hold on. Fraser! 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 Frage! Cream Frage! Fraser! Hey, Fraser, you're appearing on Beard Bros for a second.
Okay, what's up?
Hi, I need a favor.
Yeah.
My
Lend
game.
me a favor?
Lend me a favor. My controller's dying.
Oh, let me give you a charger.
Thank you. It is in my office on the floor.
Fraser
President High School.
From Super Scope Show.
Super Scope Show out now.
Out now. Go check it out. That was our little worked-in promo. We planned that from the beginning.
No,
to promote our
we did
show.
not. Anyways, sorry about that freak out moment, Alex.
So we are in the realm of the Zoras at the moment, and I don't know what the hell happened in this.
What do you want, little man?
In this
Do you have
game.
something to ask me?
Between this game and the next one, that they decided to just completely redesign the Zoras.
I don't get away from free news, some fucking rubies.
But
What do you do?
like, I don't know why they changed. Like, they're so ugly in this game and so normal in Ocarina of Time, and then so unplug that big one. Sorry, Fraser is crawling underneath my feet right
That's
now.
what she said.
Yeah.
Unplug the big one. Unplug the big one,
Unplug the big one, dog.
she said.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just talk about the Zoras because I feel like they are a somewhat amorphous species. And the reason that I think that is because if you look at this game, this is a very early game in the series, right?
Thank you, Fraser President. Everyone, Super Scope Show out now. Go
Out
subscribe.
now, go check it out. Go see
You-
their Resident Evil video.
It's really good.
It's really funny. Yeah, so if you, like, there's no Zoras in Skyward Sword, right?
Maybe?
I don't think so, right?
No, is it the first one they're not in for a while?
I mean, they're not really in Wind Waker either. But the reason I mention it is because they're not. That's the earliest game, and they're not in that at all. But in this game, they look like the way they do. In Ocarina of Time, they look the way they do. And then if you go to Wind Waker, which is like one of the farthest in the future games, Eiji Aonuma, who's like, you know, the modern day director of Zelda, he revealed that the Rito from Wind Waker, which are the like beak-nosed people, right? They kind of like run the role of the Gorons in that game. They like live in like the fire temple with Valu, the wind dragon or whatever. And they are like the evolved form of the Zora, which is ironic because in Wind Waker the world is covered with water. And they evolved into like flying people.
So, this is one of my favorite memories in this game as a kid. Just finding out that this waterfall is a entryway to get cool stuff. Like, as a kid, imagine finding this thing, you know?
Yeah.
And just losing your mind. That was me.
Yeah.
I was that kid.
That was you, like, the very first time you played this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, going back to the Zora, it's just super interesting, like, what's her name, Medley, I think is her name. She like, you know, they always like connect with their sages in the Wind Waker. I know you haven't played it, but like, her like ancient sage version is a Zora, which is interesting, and you know, it's neat. Like, the tree people in that game, like, there's like an evolution thing. Like, the tree people in that game are like related to the Kokiri. The flying people are related to the Zora, and like whatever. And they have the same. They have the same.
Yeah, whatever.
But they have the same crest as the Zora too. So it's neat. So maybe these Zora are like a less evolved version of the like sleek blue Zora that you see later. So the name Zora might come from the fish, the remora, which is like those kind of fish that like suck on other fish and like clean them while they are like swimming around. You know what I mean?
No, but I gotcha.
Like symbiotic relationship fish. They like.
Oh, in that case, yes.
Yeah. And so that's a thing. Or they could have been inspired by Zora Neale Hurston, who was an early American writer. And that would make sense because, Zelda is a reference to Zelda Fitzgerald.
I think you mean to say that Zelda's reference to Zelda Williams?
That is the opposite of what I mean.
I'm pretty sure that's what you meant to say, though.
No, F. Scott Fitzgerald's like slutty, rambunctious, cool, like hard drinking wife is Zelda Fitzgerald, and she's awesome. But also in Slavic languages, Zora or Zoria is it's a name that means like beautiful aurora or dawn or morning star. So think about that for a second.
Or what you could have meant to say was that Zelda Williams was in fact inspired for Zelda in this game.
That's not true.
I'm sorry.
I would not say it.
I was channeling Mike Gregg. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I would say that Zelda Williams is named after Princess Zelda, though.
I would too. That's a very safe assumption.
You know, when they did are we in the Tower of Hera?
No. We're doing some side quests to get some rupees.
I got distracted because I was looking at my Zora notes. Oh, I see where we are. So yeah, what was I just saying? Oh, at E3, the week of E3, like 2 years ago, they did one of those Zelda concerts.
I went to that.
Yeah, I did too. And Zelda.
Another story of the time that Alex and I were at the same place at the same time. Didn't know each other.
Yeah. We even moved close to you guys. Or no,
Yeah.
were you with Hector?
I was.
Yeah. But yeah, so Zelda Williams hosted that, and that was like a really cool like little treat because it was like, special version of the show. Plus they played a bunch of Majora's Mask stuff, so I was like, oh god, this is amazing. They played like all the music from Majora's Mask like right at the end. They were like, by the way, we have one more thing for you. It's all the music from Majora's Mask that you love. And we were like, ah!
And then everyone cried in unison.
Yeah.
They all cried.
So, what do you suppose that he's doing?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna say Beard Bros versus time.
Beard Bros versus time?
Well, in the sense of like looking
the
things.
same thing as like, what the hell is that?
What the hell is that? I feel this is like our Who's That Pokemon for us. Like, what the hell is that?
I think that he is lifting the top half of his head out of the water, and that red stuff that you see there
is like his tunic.
Is his like I think it's his like gaping open mouth.
Okay, I'm gonna say the exact same thing, except since he is a Zora with the Zora flippers, I'm going to just make up the lore that he can just drink water now.
So you think that he's
just opening
he's not lifting his head out to breathe.
He's
just like
opening his jaw to go ahead and accept more.
You know what? I'll tell you what. He is like super thirsty from running around.
You know what? That's what I'm telling you.
He can
man.
run into a wall and break the wall.
That's true. So we're the Pond of Happiness. One of like the weirdest places in this in the game because it's the illusion that you have to throw things into it to be rewarded, and the thing obviously to throw into it is the rupees. As a kid, this is very misleading. I was very upset when I realized that like I guess I didn't understand math very well because I was like, I didn't get anything, and so my mentality was, I'll just keep throwing more in and hopefully something good happens.
But that's right, isn't it?
And it's true. Eventually, if you throw in 100 rupees, as we're about to throw in right now, we will be rewarded with an upgrade.
So, I just want to give you some quick trivia on this. This is based off the idea of the wishing well, which comes from an idea that like deities lived in water, and so you like, it's like a source of life and all that stuff because water is like the best thing in the world, and like that's so like actually scientifically real, guys.
Water is the best thing in the world.
It was like a very like sacred place for a lot of like European cultures, like the Germanic people and like the Celts and stuff like that. And sometimes they'd put the god's picture, like see like right here, like you see those two things that are like statues of the fairy. Like That is like very much in line with like what really happened at Wishing Wells. Is they would put a picture of the god that lives in the water right outside the well, and then they would like throw their cherished belongings in there, not just money. They'd throw like armor down the well, weapons down the well. They'd throw
pennies down
they'd
the
throw
well.
stuff just into water everywhere as like a means of like giving stuff to gods. And like the thing about making the wish is that you're like paying for your wish to come true. And so one time there was a thing called the Fountain Money Mountain, and it was like an organization that got together to figure this out. Turns out that 3 million pounds, like it's pound sterling, like the English currency.
Yeah.
3 million pounds have been like get thrown into wells every year. And apparently there's an ancient myth called Mimir's Well. It's a Nordic myth that it talks about the Well of Wisdom, which is Mimir's Well, and then it can give you infinite wisdom if you if you sacrifice something that you hold dear. So Odin goes to this well and he gives up his right eye, but he didn't just want wisdom, he wanted to know why everything existed. So Odin was like a pretty psychedelic dude. And
shooting bombs or arrows? I've done bombs the whole time.
So that's neat. And he Mimir is the god of wisdom, and he sits at the roots of Yggdrasil, the world tree from Thor, the movie.
Thor.
Just kidding, it's from Nordic mythology. So there you go, that's your well trivia.
That's your well trivia for today. Yeah.
I don't know, I thought that was pretty darn interesting.
I just have a hard time paying attention during well sequences because they're
It's very boring, yeah.
It's very, very, very boring. I hope that for your sake, audience at home, you enjoyed that trivia. Right now, we're done fetch questing for now. We're going to make our way towards our next dungeon, which is the third and final of the Light World.
The Tower of Hera.
The Tower of Hera. Now, this is a temple that's very short. At least I feel it's short. And I don't know why that is. I think that in A Link Between Worlds, they kind of figured out what to do with it a bit better, you know?
I still hate the boss.
Yeah, that boss is unfun.
They fixed it in Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, they absolutely did, but it's not as bad as it seems. It's I think people just tend to overreact because they just don't know what to do.
It's a dumb idea. He should lose health, at least.
Who?
The boss.
When you hit him?
When you fall. You should when you come back, he should
retain his
he should not be at full health.
Yeah.
That's like outrageous.
Yeah, they definitely fixed that with A Link Between Worlds.
Like if you're a kid, that's like a wall. But whatever.
You might hate me then when we play this boss because I might wreck him.
I'm not gonna hate you. I've since like wrecked him. I just that was the worst. I hated that when I was a kid. So, the Tower of Hera. I want
to say it's a Nordic reference as well.
It's a Greek reference actually.
Oh, okay.
Hera is the wife of Zeus, but she is also the sister of Zeus, which they don't teach you in school.
I wonder why.
Right away, unless you had like the cool
little
teacher.
Game of Thrones action.
Unless you had like the
right
cool
there.
teacher, yeah. And so.
So you had the cool teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, incest is rad.
It's rad to talk about incest when you're in high school because like everybody is young and thinking about sex for the first time in their life. And so
where is this conversation going?
I'm just being real. When you're in high school, that's what you want. Like that's all you're thinking about. It's like, oh my god, all the girls have boobs. Like that's high school, right?
I feel like yeah. I mean, I had a girlfriend in all of high school, so I guess my limitations were
right. Okay, but you weren't just like hanging out with your cool friend. Like it was like you were trying to, explore
Tower of Hera.
Yeah. So
Tower of Hera.
So here's the theory is that the Greek gods live where? Mount Olympus.
Mount Olympus.
Right. And Death Mountain is like a big ass mountain.
Yeah.
Right. And Tower of Hera is near the top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's just like a reference to Mount Olympus.
Okay.
Mountain of the gods.
Like you are reaching the tower. Like you're like almost reaching where the gods are.
Yeah. And if you look at it, I mean, it's like a big, tall tower. It actually kind of reminds me of the Tower of Babel. Just the way it looks. Looks like the classic depictions of the Tower of Babel.
Absolutely.
So sometimes the Tower of Babel looks a lot more like the Leaning Tower of Pizza. Pizza.
Give me pizza.
I wish.
I love that video.
Give me pizza.
P-I-Z-Z-A.
I wish I had a Leaning Tower of Pizza.
Whipped cream tastes like waterfall. P-I-Z-Z-A.
That is horrible.
So, have you heard the sped up version?
No.
Give me pizza. P-I-Z-Z-A.
No,
I
I've been
want
obsessed
pizza.
with that Kermit the Frog.
Are you orange?
Of course it's an orange. You guys got to see that.
It's Kermit the Frog slowed down, reacting to, was it Cookie Monster?
Yeah. He's trying to get him to guess orange, and he keeps guessing cookie. It's like a classic comedy bit. But when you slow it down a little bit, it's just like Jeff Goldblum, where he just seems like wasted. Is that actually faster than just climbing the ladder normally?
Yes.
By like
you want to
half
test it? You want to test it?
I don't want
I
to.
will test it. Okay.
Okay, fine.
This is the regular way.
Okay.
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 This is that riveting beer
Now
bros.
Kelly is here. She will be the judge. I think this is faster.
I think it's about the same pace.
All right, yeah, that's about the same pace.
Kelly, what you guys don't know about Kelly is that she's chosen a life of total muteness unless she's on camera. She doesn't speak unless she's on camera.
That's not true.
Oh,
I
yeah?
think she's not on... This is different.
So, Link turns into an effing rabbit in this game.
Only for this one time. I also want to point that he's a rabbit that is like in a constant buck status. You know, his teeth are always like wide and he's always ready to eat something.
Yeah.
You know, like unlike you can kind of see it sticking out too. See in the profile shot?
What?
It's like oh, you know what? Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I thought that his eyes was his mouth and that he was just wide open the whole time. Now, for the first time ever in my life, it looks like a bunny. I thought it was a warped, like...
You thought it was like a grotesque open bunny mouth?
Yeah, this whole time, my life is gone.
That is so funny.
Hey man, the things you think of when you think of Seuss.
I have no idea why he turns into a bunny.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We are officially here at the, Tower of Hera. This, again, will be a shorter dungeon, because I know it quite well, in my opinion. It is if I don't die. I forget which is the right way to go, but we'll find out shortly. Once you've figured out where to go, it's pretty... Alright, this is the wrong way to go.
That's so crazy. Why on earth do you think that he turns into a bunny? Rabbit? Yeah, that like really messes me up. They usually have to do with like life and like abundance and like goodness and speed and like health and
maybe it has to do with those two characters we saw outside. Like, what are those two? I never understood what those two things are. Those like two dudes.
What two dudes?
The things that were like running around, like beating each other up. That are like, why are we this way?
I don't know. I think it's, I think it's just supposed to be like, sort of like he gets turned into an animal and that's like crazy, and because this world is like twisted and dark and evil. I don't know, but I will tell you this: in Native American folklore, the Manabojo is a great hare. He's a trickster god, and he shapeshifts, and he helped spawn creation. And he's like a really well-respected and powerful, like force in Native American folklore. I'm not sure which tribe's mythology that is. Probably several of them, but this guide that I'm reading about it is too ignorant to differentiate between the tribes.
So we're gonna go ahead and boom. We now have the master key, which means we can get both the the big key. I apologize. We can now get obviously the treasure and the boss taken care of. This is going to be a pretty, like I said, quick dungeon. I know this quite well. It's a pretty short dungeon. We go past a few more doors and that's it.
I really, really, truly hate Moldorm.
Moldorm is the boss or these dudes?
Yes. In Japanese, his name is Deguteru, which means big tail.
Well, that's kind of...
And he's supposed to be a big yellow worm.
He's more greenish, but yeah, that's basically it. Oh no. There.
Hate him.
Ah. Oh man, I got too careless.
Did you enjoy falling down that hole?
Shut up. I had a Star Fox moment, okay?
Falco.
They're on me, I'm getting careless.
They're on me.
Thanks, Fox.
Thought they had me. Oh! Whoop.
So much for a short dungeon, huh?
It is a short dungeon. That's probably why they made it short.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of the boss fight that we're about to do. Like, that's literally the point of the longevity of the fight, is to just keep it going as long as possible because of what we endure.
I think that's very bad level design.
They make it work, though. I think it feels so much right in Link Between Worlds.
In Link Between Worlds, the thread is not as bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't send you back to the beginning of the level. Which is mean and stupid, I think.
Okay.
And the fact that all the enemies bounce you is like so nuts.
I'm so sorry everyone at home. I'm sure they're really tired of hearing the pulsing. This has been going on the entire dungeon. I feel so horrible about it.
That's another gameplay element that I'm not like super fond of in all of the Zeldas.
Well, it's to create suspense and get you...
Play a song, you know? Play a song.
It's my first death, I believe, but we got some fairies, so we're in good shape.
Does it count?
It's over.
Do they count them? No, right?
I believe it does. It might.
I know it does in Link Between Worlds. Right?
I believe so. This particular dungeon for this treasure is very aggravating because it's very much like not necessary. Like you could play the whole dungeon never
and
once.
not get this, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people do that upon their first playthrough. Because you get this pearl, and then it's like, great, the moon pearl protects the hero from changing from the effects of the golden power. It's like, that's great and everything, but you never actually tangibly use this.
Well, you don't turn into a rabbit.
Yeah, it's a passive treasure. I think that it kind of bums me out because, you know, when you do dungeons like this, especially in this game, you're expecting a more of a pleasant reward.
Is there anything bad about Rabbit Link? Can he not use a sword?
He cannot use a sword, can't use weapons, can't do anything.
Got it.
So here it is, this is the boss.
All right, let's see it. Let's see this flawless playthrough of Moldorm.
Don't do that. Now I'm gonna mess up.
This is like the only boss in the game who's easier the second time.
Yeah. The trick to him...
He's getting right there.
No, but... The wind up...
God, this clench!
Does more damage. There you go.
This clench.
And unclench.
He's like a Muppet, like a nasty, nasty Muppet.
Weird Muppet.
Hey, good job,
Smooth
dude.
beards. All right.
Smooth beards? That's such a gross version of Smooth McGroove.
He already has a beard, so it's like weird. You won the Pendant of Wisdom. With this, you've collected all 3 pendants. Go now to the Lost Woods to get the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Ding. Cool.
All right, dudes. So let's call it for today. Look at that awesome big tower, Tower of Hera.
Next time on Beard Bros, next week, we
kick some booty.
We're going to get the Master Sword. We're going to do some sequence breaking.
We're gonna do like a tiny bit of sequence breaking.
It's stupid, but
I
enjoy it.
It's like a pretty like visually cool.
You guys will get to see this, and it'll be a good time. So
later, man.
Later, mans.